What's up, RT?
I'm a little disappointed.
Well, I'm sitting across from you. I
Yeah,
understand.
and
Yep.
you were part of this disappointment.
That's not too far out of the
We
realm
didn't
of things, actually.
we didn't get a record for a few weeks.
Yeah.
We had to work ahead during Christmas time, and then
Oh, I see where this disappointment's going.
one day I'm sitting there and people are all behind me, and we're at church. We're sitting at church. I'm
Yeah.
sitting in the front row. I usually sit by myself up there.
Yeah.
A few minutes before service.
Good place to be.
You sit a couple rows behind me, and I start hearing like people gasping in horror. Do you know where I'm going here?
I do, yeah. I
And then I see kids running, scared to death.
a couple of
And
kids
then-
ran. One still runs from me.
My wife, she looked like she's going to throw up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's a thing.
what is going on?
Yep.
And I turn around.
I shaved off my awesome beard.
You had a mustache.
Just left the mustache.
Yeah.
Tried to pull it off.
You don't think you did?
I don't think. I think it was just such a big change.
I
you
think
know.
that's what it was.
And I don't think it was bad. It wasn't good.
Well, I don't think it was bad.
Yeah.
I just think, it was different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake thought it was bad.
Yeah, Blake thought it was bad. Yeah, he came up to me. He's like, "Good thing we're recording in 2 weeks. Maybe it'll grow back." I was like,
Oh, man.
"Not as much as you'd like it to."
I was dying.
Yeah.
You know
So,
what?
I have felt naked for 2 weeks. And I feel fine until I look in the mirror and I'm like, "Oh no." So,
Yeah.
It's still.
Every time I seen you after that, I'd forget. And
Yeah.
then I'd see you, it's like, oh,
Oh, he still did that.
still did that. I
Yep.
made this. I was at like a Christmas event with a few friends,
Yeah.
and they did the white elephant Christmas gift.
Yeah.
And so I make my own seasoning
Oh, okay.
that I use for like steak and.
Oh, really?
I use it for everything: burgers, vegetables, whatever.
I got you.
You got to put something on vegetables because
Yeah.
those aren't good to start with.
I like vegetables.
Well,
I'm a big greens guy.
yeah, I pretty much eat just meat.
Okay.
But anyways, so I made this seasoning, and I
Yeah.
had a mustache a couple years ago. Like it was during COVID.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything for the military,
Right.
so I didn't have to shave. Then all of a sudden, I had to shave, so I shaved everything. I had this massive mustache.
Right.
I got a picture of it.
Yeah. Probably looked gorgeous, I'm guessing.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
And then so I called my seasoning RT Stash-tastic seasoning, and then labeled the bottle with that picture of me on it, and everything looked professional.
That's great.
I used that for my
Stash-tastic seasoning.
gifts for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice
Do you
job.
want one? Because I can make some more.
Yeah, I mean, if you have some, I'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had the seasoning, but
Maybe
the
I'll
seasoning's
just
average.
I'll like impose a picture of me next to you, and be the two guys with mustaches.
Right.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's how he's doing. That's it. I thought you may still
Yep.
have the mustache
So
today.
anyway, no, I'm letting it grow back out. Get
Okay.
back to Normalville. You know?
Well, yeah. A couple things going on.
Yeah.
We have April 25th,
The barn gathering.
the barn gathering.
Yep.
Yep. Are you ready for that?
I think so. Yeah. I think I don't have a mission statement, so I think it'd be a good time that we can develop one and
Yeah.
be good fellowship and just hanging out. So.
And it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
So if you go to toughmenoffaith.org,
Yep.
you can sign up right there. It's $25.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's easy.
Cheap. You're just going to get some material.
What,
They're going
40
to
minutes outside of Indy.
Yeah, just west of Indy.
Yeah,
So
so-
not far.
Okay.
Yeah, the food's going to be good. It's going
Yeah,
to be
food,
fun.
Big fire,
Big fire.
hanging out with people,
Yeah.
learning about a mission statement.
Learn about a mission statement.
Good. I don't have one of those, so I guess I need one.
Yeah, it's gonna be this great fellowship,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, I think so.
guys from a lot of different churches and different
Yeah,
areas
I think
coming.
I was looking at it the other day. I think there's a big handful of people that signed up already. So
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
yeah,
But we do have to limit space, so it's one of those things like
get in there.
get signed up. This is
Yeah.
what happened at the Farmstead Summit.
Farmstead
We almost
Summit.
forgot the name, like
Yeah.
right? You get too many quickly, and we found out like, hey, we got to limit this. So
Yep.
same thing on this.
All right.
Get signed up at toughmenoffaith.org.
.org.
Yeah. What else? Before we jump into some stuff.
I don't know. What else you got? I think we got a pretty cool guest coming in next week.
We have guests. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have. So the rest of this season. So we're in season 7. And one of the things we're talking about is 20 essentials for life.
Right.
This season. So we've been talking about how to anchor your faith, discipline, living with mission, which leads to what we're going to do at the barn gathering.
Right.
Facing your fears, owning your stress.
Yeah.
But so like the next 10 or so, we're going to have a lot of guests come on.
Yeah.
Just going to be talking through some of them.
Good.
So today we're looking at one of them, which is put your faith into action.
Okay.
That talk is cheap, live it out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think this is a good topic for me
Yeah.
to think about.
Yep, I agree.
That faith by itself is pretty weak unless you have action. So you see that in James chapter 2. James 2.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so.
That faith by itself doesn't have works. It's dead, basically.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating when you think about it, because we call this the tough men of faith.
Right.
So if you have faith,
But are we living it out?
yeah. If you don't have any works, then really your faith is dead.
Yep.
So what does it mean to be a tough man of faith if you don't have actions you're putting with it?
Right.
So that's kind of what we're going today. Is kind of
Okay.
look at do your people around you see your faith in action,
Right.
like see you doing your
Yeah.
works, like you're
Yeah, what do people see in
Yeah.
you that you're claiming? If
Yeah.
you're claiming to be a man of faith or a
Yeah.
person of faith, what are people seeing that lets them know that that's something real?
Yeah. It's like your kids, your coworkers, your wife. They don't need to hear more about your faith.
Right.
They need to see your faith in action.
Yep, I agree.
Like my kids can hear me all day talk about the faith.
Right.
My wife can hear me talk about the faith.
Yep.
But what does the action look like? Like what's my faith? How's that making me live as a parent? How's that making me live as a spouse?
Yeah.
As a coworker, as a boss, employee, employer, right?
Yep.
What is the difference in action between a man that says he has faith and a man that has that works
Yeah.
with that faith? So, yeah, I thought that'd be a good topic. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
When you look at essential things, like we're saying, like, hey, 20 essential things for men. To me, this would be one.
Yep.
Because we've both been. I know I've been the guy that talks about my faith, hasn't always lived it out.
Yeah,
in
I
the
get
way
it.
that I should. So I think it's easy for guys to fall in that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's easy to slack on it too. Yeah.
yeah,
It's easy to kind of revert back and slack and getting back in there and getting after it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, well, it's hard, right, to have the action with
well,
it.
and to keep moving forward, to keep that forward momentum. Sometimes that gets difficult too.
Yeah,
So sometimes it's real easy to revert back.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's real easy just to constantly talk about it.
Yeah.
Or even like go to church. Like I know at times that can be difficult, but you show up on a Sunday morning for an hour. Maybe you go to a small group or Sunday school class,
Yeah.
but if that's all your faith
is
is,
that all you're doing?
yeah, it's
And
really
then
dead.
What's that telling anybody?
Yeah,
So
yeah. And then the part of that, like really like the action part of faith, like serving your wife and your kids,
Yep.
or serving your community.
well, yeah, and then showing your wife and kids the people that you're leading, that you're serving,
Yeah.
and where you're serving at, and hopefully that pushes them to want to
Yep.
lead and to serve as well.
Yeah, so not just providing for them financially. Like sometimes it's
Right.
men are like,
Well, and sometimes it's
Paying
really easy to
bills.
get tied up in that and just
Yeah.
caught up on, I provide, I get, this house, these cars, this money, that, the groceries, and it's really easy to get tied up into that. But what are you doing outside of that? What are you doing outside of the home
yeah,
to let them know, or to let them see your faith?
yeah.
So,
What I was trying to think about this today. Like, what's areas where we would talk about our faith, but maybe not walk in it, like as men.
yeah.
I didn't come up with a good
You
list.
don't have any?
I probably should have. Yeah, I probably should have. But I was just trying to reflect on it. Like, hey, what's areas that I talk about it, but maybe don't walk it?
Yeah.
And for me, like some of it may be like serving other people. So when I look at scripture, right, you see the idea of justice and serving those who are hurting.
Yeah.
And so like, am I really doing that? So last night, it's freezing cold right now where we're at,
Yeah.
right?
A little chilly.
It's freezing cold. So I'm driving, I go get Karen gas. Guess
Yeah.
I was serving Karen, right?
Nice
So-
job.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Probably self-serving.
I wanted to go get some coffee at the
Oh,
gas
yeah, yeah.
station, but she didn't know that.
Right.
She doesn't listen. So yeah, she thinks I was just going to go get gas in her car. So I'm driving down there. I see this dude like walking past the gas station. He had balloons with him.
Okay.
But how balloons kind of deflate
Yeah.
in the cold.
Was he a clown or something? Was he
No,
going to
he's
a birthday party?
Just a guy just walking.
Okay.
And then so I go get the gas and I'm driving back and it's like, man, that guy's still walking. I was like,
Yeah.
I should offer him a ride.
Did you offer him a ride?
So I drive around.
You're going to get killed one day.
I
giving
drive
hitchhikers
around the block.
Yeah.
And the guy's on a side road at this point. There's no lights. It's like, I'm going to offer him a ride. Pull up next to him, roll down my window. I was like, hey, man, you need a ride?
And he was deaf. And he signed to you.
No,
and you didn't
he's like-
understand it, so
he's
you had to
like-
drive away.
Who is this? Who is this? Like, oh, I don't know you. I just know it's really cool. I thought maybe you need a ride.
Yeah.
It ended up being an interesting conversation because he just had some challenges and things, and it was his birthday, and he had balloons, and he's
Yeah.
really excited. And so
Okay.
all of a sudden he stops us when to have this conversation about his birthday being today. It's why he had balloons. So we had a great talk. He
Yeah.
didn't get in my car. Like,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, he didn't want to get in.
I'm going to
He's
get you
real-
like a bulletproof vest if you're
He's
going to
really
keep doing
uncomfortable
this.
with that, but
Be
he,
me and Blake doing this podcast
yeah.
before long.
But we had a great talk about it being his birthday. But like
Did you-
for me,
Did you wish him happy birthday?
I did.
Did you give him your coffee?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? I should have.
You should.
I should have offered him the coffee.
You know.
But what convicted me, probably because I've been thinking about this going into it, is that
Hey,
Like
man,
my faith would tell me I should do that.
I got 2 creamers and 2 sugars in my pocket. You want it?
Oh.
Anyway, go ahead.
My
Sorry.
faith would tell me I should do that.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was in a hurry, like I'm always in a hurry, you know
Oh, yeah.
that, right? Like
Yeah.
my mind's going, I'm
A
already
million
thinking about
miles an
something
hour.
else.
Yep.
Where Scripture teaches me to slow down and look to serve others. So my faith in action would be, hey, RT, even though Blake has a button now that dumps words.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's what he said. Like it's
Okay.
AI. So if you say something that has to get edited out,
Do you think it works?
I don't know. We're not going to try it today. Anyways, my faith would say, slow down and look for the needs around you. So last night that happens,
Yeah.
and then still the RT, like, I got to get stuff done. Like,
Yeah.
I want to get home to do some more work. It's like, keep on driving. And so felt that conviction, slowed down, asked.
Gotcha.
Didn't put a guy in a car,
Yeah.
but
That's good.
led to a good conversation. But when you think about like the story of the Good Samaritan
Yeah.
in Scripture,
Right.
the priest passed by, Levi passed by.
Yep.
They all could have had good reasons,
Right.
right? Like, no, I'm busy about God's work.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the deal, like your faith, when it has works, would say, stop and help the guy on the side of the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still laughing about me picking people up,
I just
right?
don't want you to die, man.
You're not gonna
Not
die.
like premature.
Listen, no
I think
one's-
about like your dad, and I think of like how he was pretty crazy, and now I see you doing crazy things as you're getting older, and it's just,
Yeah,
I'm allowed to be a little bit concerned for you.
yeah, I don't recommend other people like
Right.
pick up hitchhikers, but
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, this guy's out walking. He has a couple balloons.
Right.
It's freezing
You
cold.
might meet a new best friend this way.
Yeah, he's not looking. I've been needing some new friends. He's not looking to shoot me.
Right.
I don't think he's looking
He
to
had
get
a
shot
handful,
either.
he had a
So,
handful
yeah.
of balloons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how dangerous was the guy?
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's maybe. I'm not telling people to go pick up people on the side of the road,
Right.
but I'm saying slow down,
Yeah.
look around, and is your faith like having actions?
Right.
I've been feeling really convicted about this lately, like
Yeah.
just on several things. Like,
Okay.
And I find myself, and what I regret about my life that I'm trying to fix is my initial response isn't to help always. It's always to have a reason why I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I had it the other day at the grocery store. I usually don't give all these illustrations.
Yeah. Right. Here
I was
we
at the
go.
grocery store and I see this lady. She's having trouble pushing her cart out there. She bought all these water jugs.
Okay.
She's elderly,
Okay.
and I was like, man, she's gonna have trouble getting that in her car.
Yeah.
I go get in my truck and start to drive away, and I thought I should go help her. Then I drive down, and I see her. She gets up to her car. I was like, she's gonna think this is weird. I'm just gonna keep on going. Kept feeling this conviction. I was like, I got it. So I get out of my truck.
Yeah.
I walk over there. It's like, hey, do you need help putting this in your car? And she's like, no, I'll get it. And she was struggling, so she let me help her.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's like that.
While she's grabbing her taser in her purse.
Maybe.
Who is this
Maybe.
man?
No, so it's, but I think as we talk about being tough men of faith,
Yeah.
and we love like that lingo of
Right.
we're hardcore,
Yeah,
we're
yeah, we like the
tough,
title.
we have great faith, we study theology,
Right.
we know the Bible, we're in God's word, we
Yep.
do expository preaching at our church and all this stuff, but then like, yeah, but do you stop to help someone
Right.
on the side of the road?
Yep.
Or that coworker who's struggling, do you stop to pray with them or ask to
Yeah.
or meet tangible needs?
Right.
And unless you like slow down and see the needs
Yep.
and then take action to get involved, like to me, like that's what the book of James is saying. Like you can say you have all this faith, but if you're not helping,
Right.
you
Yeah,
don't
if
even
you're not
works
doing
with
anything
it.
about it, then-
It's dead.
Yeah. Then what is your faith?
And then what message does that send to your family?
Right.
If they're with you, like you
Yep.
see someone struggling and you know what your faith like says, hey, you should get involved and help. That's the story to Good Samaritan. Like get involved and help.
Right.
And then you
Yep.
don't.
Yeah. If they're not seeing that, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started by saying, what's areas we talk about our faith and don't walk it? Like I would have lots of them.
Yeah, I would too. But it's funny you say that. And like conviction is just something that's been convicting me lately. Is I tell my friends I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I show my friends that I'm a Christian most of the time.
Yeah.
But when I get around my non-believing friends, because I have plenty of those,
Yeah.
am I showing them that I'm a Christian? Am I showing them that I have faith? Or am I walking or reverting, I guess, back? And something I catch myself
Yeah.
in that scenario quite often.
Yeah. I think that's a good one because your friends, like they hear about your faith, right? Because you do talk about church
Right.
and things, but
Yep.
do they see that faith?
Right,
Like
exactly.
how does that
Yeah, how's that play out?
Change how you play out. So
Yep.
when one of them is struggling,
Right.
are you that friend that shows up
Yeah.
and offers grace and mercy,
Yep,
compassion,
exactly.
stuff
Yeah.
that
Yeah, when
God's
they need something, am I the guy that shows up, or
Yeah.
am I the guy that ignores his phone at 2 a.m.?
Right. Right.
Nope, not me.
Yeah. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
Like, especially for our unbelieving friends.
Yep. Yep.
'Cause
Well,
here's
we've
the
got
thing,
plenty of them.
they don't care like what you tell them.
Right.
For the most part, like, hey, that's great. You're a
Yeah.
Christian. You go to church, or you
Yep.
have faith. You host the Tough Men of Faith podcast.
Right.
But how does that change how you live your life?
Yep, exactly.
And some of that's like even like seeing how we are in our marriages.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, how we
handle
treat our
friends.
wives, how we treat our kids.
Yeah, because how your marriage is like
Yeah.
like preaches the gospel.
Right. Yeah. How are you at your job? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
are you just like everybody else that, runs and talks trash about everybody at your job and gossips and,
Yeah.
Gets in the mix of everything? Or, do you walk a little bit different line than other people do?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
yeah.
I wrote down just a few small things.
Yeah.
Maybe you could look at with like how do you start going this route when you decide, hey, I need to start putting my faith into action.
Yep.
I think maybe just starting small.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not like go start this
Well, it's just
nonprofit.
it's the new year.
Yeah.
And everybody, what's the biggest New Year's resolution? I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to save money.
Yep.
And then a month later, you're off the wagon. You're
Yeah.
not even attempting to get in shape, and you're not saving any money. And, your New Year's resolutions die because you jump in so gung-ho, they're so big, and you can't even keep up with the aspirations that you have.
Yeah.
And I think, just like you said, anything that's going to be valuable or that's going to be worth it in the long run,
Yep.
you got to start off small.
Yep.
You can't just jump in full steam ahead and get burnt out in
Yeah.
a month's time.
So I'd say find something, right?
Yep.
To start small with.
Yep.
Help a coworker who's struggling.
Right.
Sit down and listen to your
Well, it's
wife
like we've
and
talked
kids.
so many times. It's like, just get involved with something at your church.
Yeah.
If you don't have a church, find one. That's a good
Yeah.
small step.
Yep, that is to put your faith in action.
Just a small step in that direction. Trust me, if you find the right church, people will find you and
Yep.
find a place for you to serve at.
Yeah. So the other thing I would say is start small, but also be intentional.
Yeah.
So set a time this week where I'm intentionally going to go serve
Yep.
this person in this area, but make it a priority on your calendar, not
Right.
like an afterthought of something just happens.
Yeah.
Now, those afterthoughts will happen.
Yeah.
You're going to see someone walking down the
Yeah,
street.
that's great when you
offer
can
to help
take
them.
some action when that happens.
Yeah.
But,
So maybe it's like, hey, Saturday mornings I have off. We're going to go serve maybe as a family,
Yeah.
right, or something. But like, hey, we're
Right.
going to go put our faith into action.
Yep, exactly.
This week. So, and if you need ideas for something to do, hit us up, right?
Yeah.
Well, we can send
got a
some
few.
your way. The other thing I'd say is like pray for opportunities,
Yeah.
right? So if you want to put your faith in action, like make that part of your prayer life, asking God to open those doors
Yep.
of people to serve.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
areas to serve in, and then follow through.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of times as guys, like we're really excited about something, like we can't wait to help
Yeah,
serve
it's easy
or
to get
do
started on
this,
something, but-
right? But then follow through. Like if you
Yep.
agreed to volunteer at your church, show up and volunteer, right? Or if
Yeah.
you agreed to go shovel someone's driveway with the snow,
Yep.
go shovel their
Yeah,
driveway
I've
every
said it
time
a
it
million
snows.
times. There's always a train going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And it's real easy to jump on that train.
Yeah.
Just keep walking, baby steps, small steps, and eventually they get bigger and you start moving faster.
Yeah, I would say the other side of this is we've been focusing on maybe not the negative, but like, hey, get off your butt and do something.
Yeah. You're
type
gonna
of-
say it. You're gonna see if his button works, aren't you?
No. But there's a lot of it's rewarding when you put
Absolutely.
your faith in action. So
Yep.
not only you strengthen relationships with
Right.
people, right? So if you're serving people, that's strengthening those relationships. You're growing personally
Yep.
in your life. Like when you're serving others, like you're growing.
Yep.
And then, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you're making an eternal impact.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
Yeah.
It's really rewarding to be able to
Yeah.
help people.
Yeah, I talked to a guy today about something our church did for him a few years ago, and the guy
Yeah.
was in tears sharing with me because he came to Christ through it, his family came to Christ through it, and I had really no part in it,
Yeah.
but people in our church did, so he's just telling me about it. And man, the eternal impact from serving this family that someone has
Right.
is now like some of his family passed away, and he's like, they're in heaven because people at this church served
Yeah.
me when I came, and then I found Jesus because of that. That's what he told me. He's like, and then because of that, I told my family about Jesus, and
Right.
this person found Jesus, and now they're in heaven, and it's
Yep.
all because this person took care of us. And it's like, man, so rewarding.
Man, it's so funny you say that too. It's so often I see the men as the leader of their home, and just if they would put a little bit of effort behind something, they'd get their whole family involved in it.
Yeah.
Too. And so many times I see the men absolutely reluctant, not refusing to take that time to put any action forward, and their
Yeah.
families can't get behind it either because either they don't know about it or they don't want to step out behind dad's
Yep.
shadow.
That's
So,
good. Because there's a man who talks about things,
Right.
and there's a man who inspires others to do things.
Exactly.
And the man who just talks about it, his family is
It's
inspired.
not very inspirational.
Community's not inspired. They get tired of hearing about it.
Right.
But the man who's doing things, like
Yep.
a doer and putting his faith in action,
Exactly.
he's inspiring others. Because if you're out doing something, there's a good chance I'm going to get pretty excited and show up with you.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So it's,
Well, my wife's going to show up, and she's going
Yeah.
to want to either do it too, or at least cheerlead for you and push you from the sidelines.
yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
So
This has been good.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I think we're
Yeah.
about to wrap it up.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think we got the barn gathering.
The barn gathering,
April
April 25th. Sign up.
Sign up.
Listen, some of these guys, they don't like signing. I'm one of them.
I know.
I'm bad about signing up.
Yep.
But here's what happens. Then we
Your
get
last
close
minute
to it, and
Larrys.
everyone's like, hey, I really want to go. It's like,
Yeah.
sorry.
We're out. We can't help you.
So even if you're Nick's bestie, make sure you get signed up. We're going to tell you no. Is that fair?
That's fair.
We don't need like your best friends calling in like upset they didn't get a spot.
agree.
They need to sign up like
Yep.
everyone else.
You need to work on that mustache for next time.
No, I can't.
Huh?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I physically can.
Yeah, but you won't.
My marriage says don't. See you guys next week.
See ya.